Good evening. We'll begin in a minute. I need one more moment. We'll be starting very soon. Thank you. Hi. Mic is on. Oh, I'm behind. I'm on mic. Or more. Just one. No, just one.
I have two of these as well.
Looks pretty good.
Thank you. Oh, another one, thank you.
Is who? Mom is coming, yeah.
Good evening. We're beginning. Appreciate your patience for those online. And we are starting this evening. We'll turn to Shalom Aleichem, and then we're going to jump around just a little bit. So Shalom Aleichem on page number 5 in the Siddur. And then we'll jump a little bit and I'll explain why in just a few moments. But for now, we'll begin with the Shalom Aleichem on page number 5. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Amlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. By now, we should all remember that the Shalom Aleichem originally was a home song, and it came into the shul because it was very powerful. And we also remember that officially the evening service begins with the Baruch Hu. And only for the past 500 years have we been singing L'chun Ranana, L'chadodi, and those psalms. But when it comes to the coincidence of Pesach or Shavuos or Sukkot on the eve of a Shabbat, it's been traditional for many, many years to not have the early part of the service. Kabbalat Shabbat, L'chun Rana, L'charudi, and those psalms are associated with Shabbos, but again, only the past 500 years. So officially, they don't really have what you and I would call halachic or Jewish legal standing. And it's traditional to highlight the given Yom Tov, you might say. So I'm doing something just a little bit different because we want to highlight the holiday of Pesach, obviously, and that's why we are dispensing with Kabbalat Shabbat, and we have a couple of song sheets here. And the theme, of course, is Passover. So we're going to begin with a song named One Small Step. If I'm able to get the music going here, allow me for just a moment. And the lyrics are before us. This is by Perry Smilo. We're remembering just a day and a half ago, we were on the wrong side of the Yam Suf, the Sea of Reeds. The Egyptian army was bearing down upon us. Are we going to make it? Well, here's a piece, One Small Step, by Perry Smilo, highlighting Nachshon ben Aminadav. He is a nephew to Aaron, the high priest. And according to this great midrash, the people of Israel were stymied by the water. They didn't know what to do. And Nachshon, according to an old midrash, decided to go into the water first. And it was because of his willingness to take a risk that the water split miraculously and the rest of the Israelites came through. So goes the ancient midrash, therefore this modern song.
Was just one face in the crowd. He was tired and he was hungry, scared but he was proud. He had walked across the desert to escape slavery, and now he's caught between his taskmasters and the waters of the Red Sea. Pharaoh and his armies were coming up fast from behind, and the Israelites were arguing. They were of two minds. Some said we should turn around, go back to what we know. Slavery can't be half as bad as drowning. You gotta take one small step for free. One small step, you gotta take one small step for freedom. You gotta take one small step. One small step, you gotta take one small step for freedom. The other side, well, they were very few, so no, this cannot be. We can't go back, we've come so far in fleeing slavery. If you just stay put, I think you'll find that God will make a move, and a miracle will save us all. Just wait.
Gotta take small steps. Freedom.
And we were free.
like about this song is that it's fun and it's catchy. What I like about the song is that it highlights an old midrash, and many people have not heard of Nachshon ben Aminadav, again, a nephew of Aharon HaKohen, Aaron the high priest. And what stands out in my mind is we are familiar with Moses. We're familiar with Aaron. But this midrash, which brings Nachshon to us in a symbolic and allegorical manner, reminds us that every one of us has a role to play in leadership. And any one of us, every one of us, even somebody whose name is not known to us, can be a critical factor in the progress of an entire society. And let's see ourselves as Jews as a society. And bearing that in mind, how does our society flourish and grow? Well, again, I bring to your attention someone whom you know. Her name is Miriam. Do you hear me all right on my microphone? I can't quite tell. Do you hear me all right? Is that a yes or no? Yes. Okay. So looking at this song, it's in the middle of the other song sheet by Debbie Friedman. It's Miriam's song, and Miriam is well known to us. Remember, Miriam is the eldest of the three. Miriam, Aharon HaKohen is in the center, and then Moses is the baby. We know that Moses and Aaron are 3 years apart in age. We do not know how old Miriam is. She's the eldest, but her age is not mentioned anywhere in the Torah. But Miriam is highlighted specifically in the book of Exodus chapter 15, because that's the Song of the Sea. And after the people are singing, it's presented that she led the women in song and in dance, and she promoted to our eyes the excitement and the power and the energy that can come forth from women and the role that they play in leading our community, hence this song.
Was this after they already reached the other side?
So here's the wrinkle. When you read the book of Exodus, chapter 15, when you read a page, you're reading lines from the top of the page down to the bottom of the page. Yes? So some people might tend to think that line 1 is chronologically before line 15. But it may not be the case. It may be that the writer wrote beginning with line 1 and got to line 15. But chronologically speaking, when did line 15 happen? And when did lines 1 through 14 happen? And I can't tell you. So it's kind of hard to tell which actually happened first. Moses leading the entire nation in song, or Miriam galvanizing the women to sing and dance. And it's both presented in Exodus chapter 15. And for the record, we read that those who are so inclined to say the morning prayer service every single day of the year, we read it every single day of the year. Because rejoicing over being free, whether from the initiation of Moses or the galvanization by Miriam, is essential. Every single day, we Jews need to see ourselves as gaining freedom and therefore moving forward into the future, again, as a society. Miriam's song.
Timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every strand and every thread she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances toward the light. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam. shores and gazed across the sea. The wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long.
Baruch Hashem. Thank you, Miriam. In the Siddur, on page 39b, remaining seated, on page 39b in the Siddur, turning a little bit to an abbreviated Ma'ariv, on page 39b. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space. You completed your work of creation on the seventh day, calling this day, from one evening to the next, the holy Shabbat, and gave this day of rest and all its holiness to your people Israel, creator of day and night, rolling light before darkness and darkness from light, making day pass and bringing on the evening, distinguishing day from night. Adonai Tzvaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu olam bo'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. On page 40. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, lo tanu limadita. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shachvenu v'kumeinu, naseach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam bo'ed. Ki em chayenu ve'orech yameinu, ve'orech yameinu, u'b'hem negei yomam v'layla. Ve'avotecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. On page 41, Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'avta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha yom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha v'alechtecha v'aderech v'shachbecha v'kumecha v'kishartam lot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha Oktavtam al mezuzot beitecha ovesharecha. In silence, and then in a moment, turning to page number 42. Adonai Elohechem emet. And on page 44. Malchuta beratzon kiblu aleim Moshe u'Miriam u'bnei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam mi chamocha bo'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh Noratilot Osefele Malchutecha ra'ovanecha Bokeh yam lifnei Moshe Zeli anuv yamro Adonai imloch le'olam voed V'nemar Kifadar Adonai et Yaakov Ugalom yar chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. Page 45, my eyes turn to one phrase. It's in the English. It's in the center of the Hashkivenu. It's below Samomid on Shabbat. It's the first line in the lower section of the Hashkivenu. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. And let's stop there for a moment. In the Hebrew, it's uvitzel kenefechatas tirenu. Literally, in the shade, the shadow of your wings, may you protect us. How is it that darkness is protective? How is it that darkness is protective? Hidden from something dangerous? It comes from the shadow of outstretched wings, and the allegory, you might say, is that it's a parental bird sheltering the fledglings beneath outstretched wings. So yes, there's darkness, but there's grand and loving power. And that's the Hashkivenu. And so tonight we're not quite at sundown yet, but we're anticipating darkness in just a little while. So perhaps we can take hold of this little element, and as we see the darkness coming forward in the evening in just a little while, let it be reminiscent of grandeur and love and power. Ufro Salenu Sukat Shlomecha Baruch Atah Adonai Haporei Sukat Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Amo Yisrael V'al Yerushalayim. Top of page 46. V'shamero b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'rit olam yai b'nei u'ben b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam ki sheshet yamim asad Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz uvayom hashivi Shabbat vayinafash uvayom hashivi Shabbat vayinafash. And because we're in the middle of a holiday, you see this little one line where it says on festivals, Vaydaber Moshe et Moedei Adonai al Bnei Yisrael, translated, thus Moses proclaimed the festivals of Adonai to the people Israel. In a moment, we'll rise for the Amidah, and you know, of course, it begins on pages 47 and goes on to page 52, but in the center of page 50, we have the stanzas known as Ya'alev Yavo. It's the center of page number 50. And this is an opportunity for us to remember this holiday. And what's the nickname for Pesach, besides Pesach or Pesach? How is it called most times in the Torah? Chag ha-inconvenience? No, it's not called Chag ha-inconvenience. It's called Chag ha-matzot, Chag ha-matzahs, the holiday of the matzahs. And that's what we have here before us. Again, in this little stanza in the middle of page 50. We rise the traditional text, pages 47 through 52, with that little paragraph known as Ya'alev Yavo, or a few moments of silent personal prayer. please turn to the Haggadah. You have Haggadah by your side. Please turn to Haggadah. And again, pardon me, I don't know if I hear myself. Are you hearing me, yes or no? A little difficult? I will try. We'll do this. We're on page 118. At the end of the Haggadah, page 118 in the Haggadah, at the end of the Haggadah, there are a few big songs, and many people don't know them. It's late. It might be 10, 9:30, 11 o'clock already. People are tired. They want to go home, especially if it's another next day and they might need to go to work. But these are some fun songs, and they came into the Haggadah only about 500 or 600 years ago for fun. So this is Kilo Na'eh. It's on page 118, and Kilo Na'eh stands out for two reasons. One is that every stanza is an alphabetical acrostic. So if you look at page 118, Adir begins with an aleph, Bachur begins with a bet, Gidudav begins with a gimel. Next stanza, Dagul is a dalid, Hadur is a hay, Vatikav is a vav, and then next stanza, Zakai is a zayin, Chasin is a chet, Topsrov is a tet. You get the idea. This is a very traditional style of poetry and songwriting in the 1600s. And this and another song are probably German, Central European, maybe Bohemia, Moravia, not exactly sure, but Kilo Na'eh. Adir is a very powerful word. Sorry, it slipped. Adir means power, and Adir is used in a lot of contexts. It's the introduction to the Jewish wedding ceremony. It's in here. The word Adir is in the Kedusha in a number of contexts. Adir is very well known, and in a moment we'll go to Adir who also, and there's that word Adir. But for now I want to teach you Kilo Na'eh. So here's a simple, I think it's a simple melody. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. That's the first part. Ya la 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 la. That's the second part. First part. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Now I'm going to go to words because it's easier in the words. So I think so. Adir bimlucha bimlucha bachur kalacha kalacha gedudav yomrulo yomrulo lacha olacha lacha kilacha lacha aflacha Adonai hamamlacha kilo na'eh kilo ya'eh. Try it again. Next stanza. Dagul bimlucha, bimlucha, hadur kalacha, kalacha, vitikav yomrulo, yomrulo, lacha, olacha lacha, kilacha lacha, aflacha, Adonai hamamlacha, kilo na'eh, kilo ya'eh. I don't have four glasses of wine in me either. So one more, Zakai. We'll do Zakai and Yachid, and we'll see. Catch lacha, 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 lacha. Those are the hard ones, yes. Zakai bimlucha, bimlucha, Chasin kalacha, kalacha, Tapsarav yomrulo, yomrulo, lacha, olacha lacha, kilacha lacha, aflacha, Adonai hamamlacha, kilo na'eh, kilo ya'eh. Thanks for humoring me. Last one, Yachid. Yachid bimlucha, bimlucha, kabir kalacha, kalacha, limudav yomrulo, yomrulo, lacha, olacha lacha, kilacha lacha, aflacha, Adonai hamamlacha, kilo na'eh, kilo ya'eh. And that's slow, folks. Drink a wine, pretty fast. Okay, now we'll go to Adirhu 120. I think this is fairly well known to people. This is an oldie but goodie. As I said, Adirhu and Kilo Na'eh are both about 500 or 600 years old. Adirhu is on page 120, and there's that word again, Adir, which means God is powerful. This song is also an alphabetical acrostic, as you see here. within the transliteration. Adirhu begins with an aleph, Bachurhu begins with a bet, Gadol is a gimel, Dagul is a dalid. Next stanza down, Hadur is a hey, Vatik is a vav, Zakai is a zayin. And on page 121, the next stanza, Chasid is a chet, Tahor who is a tet, Yachid who is a yud. You get the idea. Why are alphabetical acrostics so common and familiar and present? And the answer is that people didn't always have books. If you use the same words that are familiar and they're alphabetical, you can memorize. You say, oh, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, oh, Tafs, Rav, Yomru, and you're ready to limud of, and you're ready to go. Because everybody knows the Aleph, Bet by heart, right? It's just a matter of connecting the Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey to the words in the poem or the song. Page 120, I think you know this. Adirhu, Yimne Veta Bekarov, Bimhera, Biamenu Bekarov, El Bnei Veitcha Bekarov, Bachurhu, Gadolhu, Dagulhu, Yimne Veta Bekarov, Bimhera, Biamenu Bekarov, El Bnei Veitcha Bekarov, Hadur hu, Vatik hu, Zakai hu, Yivne Veita Bekarov, Bimhera, Biamenu Bekarov, El Bnei Veitcha Bekarov. 121, the transliteration is here. Chasid, Tahor, and Yachid. Chasid hu, Tahor hu, Yachid hu, Yivne Veita Bekarov, Bimhera, Biamenu Bekarov, El Bnei Veitcha Bekarov, Kabir, Lamud, Melech. Kabir hu, Lamud hu, Melech hu, Yivne Veita Bekarov, Bimhera, Biamenu Bekarov, El Bnei Veitcha Bekarov, Norah, Sagiv, and Izuz. Norahu, Sagiv hu, Izuz hu, Yivne Veita Bekarov, Bimhera, Biamenu Bekarov, El Bnei Veitcha Bekarov, Podet, Tzadik, and Kadosh. By the way, Podet, Tzadik, and Kadosh are found in lots of the medieval songs because Podet means God redeems, Tzadik means God is righteous, and Kadosh means holy, God is holy. So these are real easy words to remember, Podet, Tzadik, and Kadosh. Podehu, Tzadiku, Kadoshu, Yivne Veita Bekarov, Bimhera, Biamenu Bekarov, El Bnei Veitcha Bekarov. Rachum means God is compassionate. Shaddai, people should know, Almighty. By the way, the reason that you typically have a shin on the outside of the mezuzah box is not because of the Shema, but it's because of the word Shaddai, which often artistically adorns the exterior of the box. Shaddai is the Almighty, and there's a commentary that suggests that Almighty really means the guardian of the doors of Israel. So whether it's the guardian of the doors of Israel or Almighty, it's Shaddai or Shin, and there's the Shaddai right here, which is found most often in the book of Breshit, Genesis, a little bit in Tehillim and Psalms as well. And then Takif means powerful. Rachumu, Shaddaihu, Takifhu, Yivne Veita Bekarov, Bimhera, Biamenu Bekarov, El Bnei Veita Bekarov. Thanks for singing along with me. Appreciate it. Aleinu is on page 56. We rise. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol latet gedula leotzer breshit shelo asanu kgoye haratzot velo samanu kemishpachot adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem vegor aleinu kechol amonam v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz u'moshav yekaro b'shamayim mimal u'shchinatu zo v'gavei miromim hu Eloheinu enod emet malkeinu efezulato kakatu b'torato v'yadadayom v'shevota el levavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim mimal v'al haaretz mitachot enod. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad U'shemo echad. In a moment, the Mourner's Kaddish on page number 58. And in this Shabbat, we remember with great love Fanny Berman, Selma Sokoloff, Dina Barr, Doris Claire Stein, Sarah Mishkin, Dina Rachel Olensky, Bruce Weinstein, Esther Silver, Mayor Perloff, Esther Rubenstein, Martin Reddish, Martha Maisel, Rebecca Maisel, Gertrude Barry Golden, Sam Stern, Sam Perkoff, Susan Rubinger, remembering Michael Miller. Are there any other names to mention today? Perhaps somebody at home has a name to share. Those so inclined at home as well are invited to rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'olma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute b'chaye echon v'yom echon v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zaman kariv v'miru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach la'olam l'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brechu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'ami ran ba'alma v'imiru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim oleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. I've said this before, but when I think about the Kaddish, there are a number of tones that are in my mind, but one tone tonight, perhaps because we're in the holiday of Pesach, is the hope to see movement into the future. And it's the last two stanzas of the Kaddish that speak of peace, not specifically to somebody who is grieving, but for the entire community of Israel and hopefully the entire world. There's a yearning to see peace, to hope for peace, to contribute to peace within the Kaddish. And so too within Pesach. 2 nights a year we stand up and we open a door for Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet. And halavai, someday when Elijah the prophet comes, heralding the Messiah, Elijah and the Mashiach are not coming only to Jewish homes. The Mashiach is coming to the entire world. The holiday of Pesach, which is born out of our own historic experience of being enslaved and being abused, has a greater tone, not only that of celebrating for us, but hopefully looking into the future for peace and for safety for everyone. And that should make us proud that the most Jewish holiday of all, with its plethora of traditions and ceremonies and ritual and complexity, which is for us alone, only us, has that overtone as well, shared with all humanity. We should be proud. We'll conclude in just a minute. Our kids, Minette's and my adult kids, Dana and David, sent us a piece, a song from Moscow. It's not from, well, they're in Moscow right now, and they had a Seder for some of their friends from the U.S. State Department, and there were 8 or 9 of them who had never been to a Seder before, and Dana and David showed them a Seder. And they have a song which they shared with us. This is from Jack Black, and it's Chad Gad Yah in English, and we'll conclude and then we'll have Kiddush and Motzi here.
There came a goat, there came a kid that father bought for 2 zuzim. Had gadiyah. Then came a cat that ate the kid that father bought for 2 zuzim. Had gadiyah. There came a dog that picked the cat that ate the kid that father bought for 2 zuzim. Had gadiyah. Then came a stick that beat the dog that bit the cat that ate the kid that father bought for 3 using. Had gadiyah. Then came the fire that burnt the stick that beat the dog that bit the cat that ate the kid that father bought for 2 zuzim. Had gadiyah. Then came the water that quenched the fire that burnt the stick that beat the dog that bit the cat that ate the kid that father bought for 2 using. Had gadiyah. Then came the ox that drank the water that quenched the fire that burnt the stick that beat the dog that bit the cat that ate the kid that father bought for 2 zuzim. Had gadiyah. Then came the butcher that slaughtered the ox that drank the water that quenched the fire that burnt the stick that beat the dog that bit the cat that ate the kid that father bought for 2 using. Had gadiyah. Then came the angel of death, that slayed the butcher, that slaughtered the ox, that drank the water, that quenched the fire, that burnt the stick, that beat the dog, that bit the cat, that ate the kid, that father, but for two zoos in. Then came the Lord our God, King of the universe. There's no sound for God. That smote the angel of death, that slayed the butcher, that slaughtered the ox, that drank the water, that quenched the fire, that burnt the stick, that beat the dog, that bit the cat, that ate the kid, that father, but for two you use him. How the God,
Chad Gadya from Jack Black. Happy Pesach and good Shabbos. Let's make Kiddush. Oh, we don't, sorry. Okay, thank you for reminding me about the Omer. Thank you. So last night was the first day of the Omer, so we say, today is the first day of the Omer.
Today's the first day of the Omer.
You did it. Thank you, Michael. Thanks for reminding me. Otherwise, I'll forget.
It's not dark.
It's not dark yet, which is why we're not doing number next. So, good Shabbos. Thanks for joining in. We hope that you come at some point in the near future. You're very important to us, to me. May God bless you. Happy Pesach. Good Shabbos. Look forward to seeing you soon. Litrot soon in the near future. Shalom for now.